Забивай свой час. На заходы, на две,
Мне так хочется спать, я хочу помирать. Твоего жизнь уходит, мое сердце шипы. Мне так хочется спать, я хочу помирать. И коли я помру, виноватая ты. Все одно и то же. Помираем в неделю. Кожное твое знание. Новая ветка в теле. Мне так хочется спать, я хочу помирать. Разбирали все зорки, подпалили мосты. Мне так хочется спать, я хочу помирать. И суровый твой погляд, мои огромные сны. Все одно и то же. Помираем в неделю. Кожное твое знание. Новая ветка в теле.
Then you introduce yourselves, like I'll just start.
Okay.
Ok. Tá, a galera tá escutando já? Tá bom. Então, galera, vamos começar aqui com o Basalt Architects. Eles são da Islândia e eles vão se apresentar aqui. A palestra vai ser toda em inglês, tá bom? Então, fiquem atentos aí. You can start.
All right. Hello, I'm Hrólfur and my colleague Marcos. We would first like to take the opportunity and thank you very much for inviting us to speak. Going to Curitiba is quite a long way, although it's only online. We have, or at least me, when I was studying architecture, Curitiba was used often as an example, and all the many things that Jaime Lerner was doing there back when he was mayor. So that were very inspiring, and we would love to come there in person one day. Just to tell you a little bit about us, we are a small studio by Brazilian standards, I think maybe medium size here in Iceland. There are 3 partners. It's us in the middle is Sika, who founded the office in 2009. And we have a wonderful group of 14 architects and constructing architects and designers who are working together on various different kinds of projects. Because here in Iceland we cannot really afford to be too specific on one topic, so we have to know a little bit about everything. So what we do spans everything from interior design to bathing, to exhibitions, to homes, to medical institutions, and to a larger scale planning. So we these 14 people do a whole lot of different things. I think today, and just to give you a background about Iceland, we are a volcanic island in the North Atlantic Ocean, and it's very cold here. And what enables us to live in this very northern part of the world is the fact that Iceland is sitting on top of a mantle plume, which is basically a tongue of lava that reaches to the surface of the earth and keeps us hot. We're a volcanic island, and we're still a very active volcanic island. And what this volcanology does is that it heats water, which then we use to heat our houses, and like I said, really is a big part of why we are able to live in Iceland. And all of our projects that we will show you today deal with this specifically, and we will show you a little bit different approaches how we use it. Most of the projects that we will look at today are bathing-related projects, and bathing has been a big part of Icelandic culture ever since settlement, and we've had the privilege of working in that sector, which is what I imagine has brought us to Curitiba, because I guess you can say that it's what we're best known for. So, to start, and I think this is an excellent example to give you a further insight into this geothermal resource that we have. I don't know if you've heard about the Blue Lagoon. Like I said, we're quite far away from Curitiba, but the Blue Lagoon is a major travel destination in Iceland. But it didn't start that way, and we're going to kind of go through the history a little bit before we get into the project. So the first one is the retreat at the Blue Lagoon, which is an extension to an existing bathing facility that we finished in 2018. What you see here on the screen in the lower right corner is a geothermal power plant where water is pumped up from 2 kilometers below the ground, hot water that is a mix mix of fresh water and seawater. And that water is then used to generate power to power companies and homes in this part of Iceland. And then also, we can also use the hot water that is left over from this production, and that is what we do to create the Blue Lagoon. Here to the left, you see a kind of curved building. So that is the existing Blue Lagoon, and between the power plant and the existing bathing facilities, there are a research and development center and another little hotel that is also part of the Blue Lagoon. Yeah, so once the water has been used to generate power, it is channeled to the Blue Lagoon, and the heat is lowered when it's mixed with cold water, making it a nice and bathable water. And what's so interesting about the Blue Lagoon is that the water is also very healthy. That is for your skin. It has 3 active ingredients, which is silica, minerals, and algae. And we'll share a little bit more about that later. So to the right, we see what was already there when we started this latest extension that we did in 2018. Before, it had been done in 2 phases, one that opened in 1999 and then again in 2007.
I don't know if you're showing another thing, but we are only seeing your PowerPoint, the first page of the PowerPoint. I don't know if you're showing another page.
We're showing an aerial photo of the Blue Lagoon. You're not seeing that? Hold on.
Now we see it.
Okay. No. Okay, right.
Don't worry, everything is okay. I think you can press F5 to put it in the whole screen.
Just 1 second. The usual technological challenges. You can see
You can start from the very beginning if you want to, since we didn't see what you show.
Shall we say your entire screen or a window? No, I don't have permission to share a screen. Entire screen. No. It says that we can't share our screens up here. There's something we need to do?
Actually, it should be able for you to share. I think it's easier for you to put it on the whole screen. Full screen.
Oh, full screen, okay. Permissions. Yeah, it says in a window you must grant permissions in order to screen share. Is that something that we have to do?
I think we're using which Mozilla, Google Chrome, which one or other?
What if you maybe hung up and call again? Shall we try that? To hang up and call again?
Let's. You can, if you try to get out the Google Meeting, getting again.
Yeah.
Galera, travou lá no deles e a gente já continua. Pior que foi travado lá, então a gente já continua. Continue aí, tá bom? You can, if you try to get out, you need to.
It's okay now. You can see it. Press F5 for put it the slide on the whole screen, full screen. And your mic is off. We can't hear you. Now we can see if you change the slide.
Okay, you can hear us now.
Now we can.
Hold on a second. Yes. So can you see a presentation?
Yes, we can.
And you see a picture of 3 people. You see a screen of the 3 of us here in Basalt.
We can. Everything is okay now.
Okay. Brilliant. All right. Very good. All right, then we take it from the top. We'll start with the retreat at the protocol, like I said. And we'll go fast through the first chapter since you heard what we said before. So here's, again, the picture of the power plant on the lower right, which is a geothermal power plant that makes electricity for the towns close by and also provides the water for the Blue Lagoon. And here on the left, you can see the first 2 phases of the Blue Lagoon from 2007 and 1999. So it's been a project that's been extended a couple of times, and indeed, like I said in the beginning, it's a major travel destination here in Iceland. Here you see an aerial photograph of our latest extension, which is...
I think you need to put in full screen the presentation. Just going F5 in the computer, F5. The keyboard.
It is in full screen, yes.
Let's see.
So we'll do here, F5. Do you see a full screen aerial photograph?
Yes, we're seeing the area photograph.
Brilliant. So this is all right? Yes. Okay. So I don't know, do you see the arrow that we used to point as well?
No, we're not seeing it.
Okay.
But
anyway.
just past the slides, normally like go each slide and we can see the slide.
Okay, yeah, good. Okay, so the Blue Lagoon retreat consists of 2 parts really. It's a spa with restaurants and changing rooms and the hotel to the left with 2 wings that is connected to the spa. Then the whole project is then connected to the previous phases of the Blue Lagoon. And what's interesting when the Blue Lagoon extends their facilities, it's not only to be able to receive more people, but it's also to add an experiential part to being there. So this latest phase was a kind of more luxurious extension that was already there. So it offers something really for everyone. And what's very interesting about this project is how we got to work by setting it into the land. Like we started off saying it's a volcanic island, and this lava field that is the setting for the Blue Lagoon is really a very dramatic lava field. It's a very, shall we say, rough lava, and it's quite intimidating site to work into. And we try to do it with a lot of respect, trying to touch as little the things that are there before and make our project so that, you know, when you come there, you can really appreciate what was there before. use architecture as a, shall we say, platform to enjoy what is already in place. So here on the right, you can see the spa, that it lowers into the ground and then connects to the existing lagoon. And on the left, the two hotel wings that are connected together in the center. So this is when we were starting out. And there you can see what I mean by the lava field. It's a very, very rough field, and we started out with a rough program from the client that we then needed to fit into the site. And we tried to sort of read the land, see where we saw obvious cracks and interesting geological features, and then we drew our plans accordingly. And what was so fantastic about this project is that we really got to incorporate what we found when the earthwork started. So if the constructor found something that of interest when they opened the ground, they would call us and we would get to evaluate whether we should include this in the design or not. And so it was a very kind of interactive way of working, and we essentially had to redraw the project 2 times, I imagine, or more times in some places. There's a picture also from the beginning where we drew the building in 1-to-1 on the site. You can see us on the left stringing the building on the site. And what you find is different kinds of lava. On the very left, there's a solid basalt. You see the top layer is really kind of crumbling lava. There, when you have the lagoon, you have this thick layer of the white silica. And to the right, you can see a kind of red crumbling pumice stone below the heavy basalt, which we found in the deepest place in the retreat. So here's a picture from what is now the heart of the building, which we will get into a little bit later, where we have now 3 chambers dedicated to the active ingredients in the water.
Just 1 minute. I think it will be easier if you send us the presentation for us to download, so we can pass the slides for you, and then we don't have this problem.
Sorry? To send the presentation.
Send us the presentation through email.
Is there an issue? You cannot see the presentation, or?
We are seeing it in the slide 6.
What did you say?
It is only on slide 6. It doesn't change.
No. Okay. It's only where? So,
send us the presentation through our email.
We can do that, but it would take time.
Okay. We can wait.
Yeah. And then we say next slide. Okay.
Your presentation, your lecture will end after the plan, thanks to this problem, okay? Don't worry about the time.
We can try that. We can send you the presentation via WeTransfer. It's quite heavy. So
okay, WeTransfer is okay.
Yeah. Are we still online, or?
Sorry?
Are we still online?
I didn't get it.
Are we online?
Online, yes. Send us through WeTransfer and we can change the slides for you.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen? Marco, minha tela não tá aparecendo?
Não, ainda não, não tá.
Can you see it now? Okay, so just tell me next when you need me to pass the slide, okay?
Hello.
We can start whenever you want to.
All right, can you hear us? Hello.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we're ready again. Sorry for this technological mess, but we'll continue. So if we can please go down to slide number 6. That's it. Okay, so we'll take it a little bit from the top, but not quite. So this is the Blue Lagoon again. The middle part that you see extending in a slight curve down is the spa part of the building. And the part to the left is the hotel with 2 wings connected together in the middle, and then again connected to the existing faces, previously existing faces. We go 1 slide down. Next slide. So here we can see a drawing of the building, an axonometric drawing. The spa is thought as like a spine that goes down, and off the spine we have these little programmatic boxes, each with its own function. You have saunas and steam rooms, relaxation rooms with different kinds of experiences. And then at the end, we have 3 interconnected chambers, each dedicated to one of the materials in the water. So one for silica, one for algae, and one for minerals. And you can go through a self-healing scrubbing process and before you enter the lagoon. And it's important to say when we're working on a project like this, we have to keep always in mind the 2 most important things about the site, which is the lava and the moss and the water. So the lava and the moss become part of the building, becomes a part of your experience of being in the place. And one slide down. Next, yes. So this is from the beginning of the extension phases, and so we're here out in the lava field, so you get a better sense of what was there before we started. And as you can see, this is a very intimidating site, and we wanted to show it as much respect as we could, and always having this part of the experience of being there. So we started by sort of reading the land and trying to lay out a program that the client wished for. And it took a few backs and forths before we landed a kind of initial footprint of the building, which we then drew on site. If you go 2 slides down, so next and next. And one more. One more slide. Yeah, so this is from when we were, no, one up. No, up. Yeah, that's it. So you can see once we had laid out the program, we drew the building 1-to-1, how we thought it should be. Then when the earth or groundwork started, the top layer of the lava was removed and reserved for use later because it has a very delicate moss growth on top that we wanted to preserve to be able to cover the roofs later on. And once they opened the ground, there were many surprises, and we had the privilege of working with a client who understands the value of the site. So if there was something interesting that we felt like we should incorporate into the building, they would stop the groundwork and we would see if we had to reconfigure the drawings, which we had to do a few times to be able to maximize the experience of the land when you're in the building. So next slide. So this is part of what we found in the ground. To the left, you see a kind of very heavy basalt rock. On top of it is a kind of crumbling layer of the floating lava. In the middle, you see where we dig into where a lagoon was. You can see the top white layer, which is a thick layer of silica that has gathered over the years at the bottom of the lagoon. And then to the right, you can see a kind of red crumbling pumice stone that it sits underneath all the heavy basalt rock. And I remember still the face of the geologist when he saw this, and he realized that everything floated on top of a very loose layer. But he got over it a little bit later. One more slide. So this is a picture from the groundwork. And what you see here is bare lava walls from the excavation, but these would become really just the interior walls of the building, which is part of what I'm talking about, that you have always this presence of the lava and the presence of the moss and the presence of the water. So it's really essentially like we're digging a hole and then you're placing a roof on top of it, you know. It's a kind of a cave building. And one more slide. So then we had to build the building on top of this, and we use concrete in this case, which of course Brazilians know very, very well, and I think you should cherish the fact that you don't have to insulate your concrete in some places in Brazil at least, so you can do amazing explorations with concrete. Here we're not so lucky, but what was a little bit special in this project is that we wanted a building that was part of its environment, and in doing so, we said, okay, so we have lava walls inside, and if it's raining, then it also rains inside. So we had channels in the floor because the lava is porous, so it rains outside, and then the walls inside becomes wet. So essentially, we designed a leaking building in a sense. So you experience also the weather inside when it's raining and when it's snowing. And then you can just see how it starts to become part of the space. Next slide. So this is an aerial photograph of how the spa part is really set into the lava and how we carve the lava or the lagoon into the lava. And then we top everything with the lava rock again. So one more slide. Usually a picture of one of the hotel wings and how it sits in the water. So we decided also to ensure the privacy and maximize experience in the hotel, that we wanted the water to always be present when you look outside in your room, the water in the mosque. So essentially it becomes like a castle that's surrounded by a body of water for protection. It becomes like a castle in a moat. So next slide. Here are some pictures from inside. We wanted to really, the material palette to reflect where we are. So we used many, in some cases, the rock that we did in the excavation to make furniture. The floor is made out of lava rocks as well, also lava floor. And we really have a lot of exposed concrete to preserve the authenticity of materials. The next slide. There you can see in the lobby, this is the fireplace, and it's surrounded by lava rock from the excavation works that is cut into these tiles. So it's everywhere as you look. And also custom-made tables made out of lava from the excavation. Next slide. It's from one of the suites. You can see how the environment becomes part of being there. Next slide. A bit more close-up how the spa sits inside the lava and is also surrounded by this body of water that is not only around it, but the water actually flows into the building as well. So next slide. This is a steam room that's out, really essentially built into a cave, top to the concrete plate. Next slide. This is down in the spa, on the lowest level, where you then come into the heart of the spa, and there you can see how the lava is present outside. And what you'll begin to see is also this kind of patterned screens. We'll talk about them a little bit better later. Next slide. So this is a picture from the wine cellar, which is the lowest part of the building. And you saw before the red pumice stone that sits or lies beneath the heavy rock. There you can see it at the bottom of this room. It was only supposed to be an elevator shaft, but what we found was this amazing, the red pumice stone. So we decided we'd work with it. So we created this wine cellar that connects through an elevator with the restaurant on the top floor. And we extracted, or kind of pulled back the floor plate so that you were able to see the geological formations. And people are quite very either afraid or impressed when they're in the sea how everything is Next slide. This is from one of the relaxation rooms called the fire room. And there you also see how the lava rock just comes into the room and we top it off. Next slide. This is from the new lagoon. This is quite different from the older one in a sense that it's a kind of cocooning feeling. It's very deep in the field, while the older one is quite wide open with longer vistas. So a different kind of experience. Next slide. So next one. Can I get the next slide? Nope. Can we go to the next one, please? Thank you. So this is from the lowest part. You can see inside where we have these hanging nest chairs, and they're actually made of basalt thread. So they're out of stone, even if they don't look like it. The next slide. Yeah, from the same place, we enter the lagoon. And the next one. So this is one of the drawings that we made for this screen. And like I said before, we wanted everything to be part of this whole. And so our inspiration for these sun screens is, and then also interior screens, comes from a piece of lava, because what happens when you cut through this porous lava, you see these air holes inside, and they often have a kind of directionality and a beautiful pattern. So we programmed every screen of the building according to this. So each and every hole is different from the next, and every screen is individual. And then they were water jet cut and put, like I said, as sunscreens and as interior screens. And what happens is this beautiful light is cast through them that both bounces off the water then off the ceiling and create this shadow play inside as inspired by the lava. Next slide. You can see a picture of this, the front of the restaurant in the spa. Next slide. Also from the interior, this is in the lobby where you see the back, and you can see towards this mountain called Sobre in the background. Next slide. This is descending into the spa, again the screen and play of shadows.